I love the quote from Rumi, which says, "You must not seek love, but try to remove all barrier that prevents you from love." And that's so true. And even more, we have maybe so many negative association with the word love, because maybe we have been hurt in the past or something has happened that there is a kind of negative association. So with this video, my intention is to bring you closer to love, and with studying together what love truly is and not what we may have made to believe it is. So it's from Ponder on This, from Alice Bailey with Master Djwhal Khul, on love, page 305. So, when love for all being, irrespective of who they may be, is beginning to be a realized fact in the heart of the disciple, and yet nevertheless love for himself exists not, then comes the indication that he is nearing the portal of initiation and may take the necessary preliminary pledges. These are necessitated before his master's hand in his name as a candidate for initiation. If he cares not for the suffering and pain of the lower self, if it is immaterial to him whether happiness comes his way or not, if the sole purpose of his life is to serve and save the world, and if his brother's need is for him of greater moment than his own, then is the fire of love radiating his being, and the world can warm itself at his feet. This love has been practical, tested, manifestation, and not just a theory, nor simply an impractical ideal and a pleasing sentiment. It is something that has grown in the trials and the tests of life, so that the primary impulse of the life is towards self-sacrifice and the immolation of the lower nature. A treasure could be written on the subject of love, and yet leave it unexhausted. Much light comes if we can ponder deeply on the three expressions of love: the love in the personality, the love in the ego, and the love in the monad. Love in the personality gradually develops through the stages of love of self, pure and simple, entirely selfish, to love of family and friends, to love of man and woman, until it arrives at the stage of love of humanity or group love, consciousness, which is predominant characteristic of the ego. A master of compassion loves, suffers with, and remains with his kind and with his kind. Love in the ego gradually develops from love of humanity into universal love, a love that expresses not only love of humanity, but also love of the Deva evolutions in the totality and of all forms of divine manifestations. Love was the impelling motive for manifestation, and love is that keeps all in ordered sequence. Love bears all on the path of return to the Father's bosom, and love eventually perfects all that is. So there are so many different levels of expression of love. Love for the self, other people, love for humanity, love on a universal level. So there is a great amount to reflect where you place your love on and how far your love can reach. As evolution proceeds, it shows itself as a gradual expansion of the love faculty, passing through the stages of love of mate, love of family, love of surrounding associate, to love of one's entire environment. Patriotism gives place later to love of humanity, often humanity as exemplified in one of the great ones. A man in service learns the power of love in its occult significance. He spends and consequently receives. He lives the life of renunciation, and the wealth of heaven pours in on him. He asks for nothing for himself, and is the richest man on earth. The energy of love is primarily concentrated in the new group of world servers. This group has been chosen by the hierarchy as its main channels of expression. This group is composed as it is of all world disciples, all working initiates, find its representative in energy group of idealists and servers, and in every body of people who expresses human thought, particularly in the realm of human betterment and uplift. Through them, the potency of love wisdom can express itself. These people are frequently misunderstood, for the love which they express differs widely from sentimental, affectionate or personal interest of the average worker. These are occupied mainly with the interest of the good of the whole group, which they may be associated. They are not primarily concerned with the petty interest of the individual, occupied with his little problems of concern. This brings a server under the criticism of the individual, and with this criticism they must learn to live, and to it they must pay no attention. True group love is more important than personal relationship. True, those are meet as need. Disciples learn to grasp the need of group love and to amend their ways in conformity with group good, but it's not easy for the self-interested individual to grasp the difference. Through the medium of those disciples who have learned the distinction between the petty concern of the individual plus his interest in himself and the necessities of the urgencies of group work and love, the hierarchy can work and so bring about the needed world changes, which are primarily changes in consciousness. Love for many people, for the majority indeed, is not really love, but a mixture of desire to love and desire to be loved, plus a willingness to do anything to show and invoke this sentiment, and consequently to be more comfortable in its own interior life. No. So our intent may has been to get love and not to be the love, but to ease the pain if we have been in personal relationship, to ease the inner pain instead of true love. It is pseudo-love based primarily on the theory of love and service, which characterize so many human relationships, such as those existing, for instance, between husband and wife, parents and their child, and glamored by their sentiment for them, and knowing little of the love of the soul, which is free itself and leaves others free also. They wander in the dense fog of dragging with them the ones they desire to serve in order to draw forth their responsive affection. Study the word affection, my brother, and see its true meaning. Affection is not love. It is that desire which expresses through an extinction of the astral body. It is the activity, affects our contact. It is not spontaneously and desireless of the soul, which seeks nothing for the separated self. This glamour of sentiment imprisoned and bewilders of the nice people in the world, imposing upon them obligations which do not exist, producing a glamour which must eventually be dissipated by pouring in of true and selfless love. So also, do you see your partners and maybe family member as the soul? Because if you do so, then those petty little character traits of the personality, they move in the background, but you see the soul, the essence of someone you're interacting with, which makes it much easier to bring your love and forgiveness to them, because you really see their true nature and not their little tiny behaviors. So one thought only will I give you to repeat where you are discouraged, tired, and weak. At the center of all love I stand, and now can touch me here, and from that center I shall go forth to love and serve. Let love be the keynote in all relationship, for the power which must salvage the world in the precipitation of love. Love is not a sentiment or an emotion, nor is it desire or selfish motive for right action in daily life. Love is the willing of the force which guides the world and which leads to the integration, unity, and inclusiveness, which impels deity itself to action. Love is a hard thing to cultivate. Such is the inherent selfishness of human nature. It is a difficult thing to apply to all conditions of life, and it is expression will demand of you the utmost you have to give, and the stamping out of your selfish personal activities. Arrest each unloving thought, stamp out each critical action, and teach yourself to love all beings, not in theory, but in deed and in truth. I would remind you in this time of trial that I, your master, loves and guards you, Master Djwhal Khul, from your soul, and my soul are one. Your soul and my soul are one. Be not unduly disturbed. There is no light and dark to the soul, but only existence and love. Rest back on that. There is no separation, but only identification with the heart of all love. The more you love, the more love can reach out through you to others. The chains of love unite the world of men and the worlds of forms, and they constitute the great chain of the hierarchy. The spiritual effort you are asked to make is to developing yourself in a vibrant, powerful center of that fundamental universal love. So it takes trial. experience, maybe lessons to learn to really cultivate that love. And the love has many layers and levels where our love can reach forward. It can be love to the one person next to us, to a stranger, love for humanity, universal love. It has no boundaries, but it's really the love that must prevail again on earth for our relationship and to bring back harmony in our lives. Because sometimes we have confused love for what it is not, and that can bring great suffering. So I just want to reread again the one sentence which may help you to go through it. The one center for the discouraged, tired and weak. At the center of all, love I stand, and naught can touch me here, and from that center I shall go forth to love and serve. And from that center within you, the center which you can't be touched, and from that center you can go forth and serve and be in love and have an open heart, because you are protected by the highest power of love. And for that, I hope it has been insightful to maybe open your thoughts and beliefs and perception about love, what love truly is, and what it's here for. That's really the greatest power on the universe, to stand and to bring forth more love through you, to help and serve others. And with that, I wish you so much love, a love that goes beyond the surface, a love that goes to the soul level of your being, that you can really feel and embody that love, a love that comes from the Great One. And with that, take care and much love to you.